Nico, do you have anything to say before we introduce this episode?
This week of football was bullcrap.
All right, welcome back to the throne room. This week,
welcome back, ladies and gentlemen.
This week I'm just joined with Nico. Seth isn't back to school yet, so he missed out on us smelling each other's feet on this episode.
Oh no, he'll make up for it.
If you don't get that joke, go back and listen to last week's podcast. I said, ask us your questions and comments, and we'll, if someone says to smell our feet, we'll ask it or we'll do it. And somebody asked it this week, so we're gonna have to do that at the end of the show.
I don't know why anybody would ask that. It's so disgusting.
I've been wearing pretty much all day. I've been wearing Sperry's with no socks.
And I have a raging case of athlete's foot.
All right, so my lord. Okay, tune in. We'll do it towards the end of the episode. So stay tuned. Anyway, how's your weekend? How's your weekend?
With football or besides?
Well,
football?
With football, obviously that's what this whole weekend was.
Well, the two teams that I wanted to win lost.
You wanted to.
I wanted the Saints to win, and I wanted the.
First of all,
Chiefs.
Yeah, I said this on the Twitter and the Instagram, but and by the way, if you're not following those, you go check them out. But I predicted the Rams to go to the Super Bowl.
Yeah,
and if they win,
they have the most talent.
I will have predicted them. That's the first time I will have ever predicted a team to go and win the Super Bowl before preseason.
I think that's something like...
It's impressive, huh?
Not many people said the Rams going into the season.
I think a lot of people said the Rams.
Well, yeah, but I mean, they're still...
No one said the Chiefs would make it this far as they did, though.
No.
Because Patrick Mahomes,
nobody knew anything.
Exactly. But yeah, I was going for the Rams, obviously. I wanted Drew Brees to have a good game, though. Because I like Drew Brees. It's hard not to like the guy. Yeah. And I also obviously wanted the Chiefs to win. But they didn't, so...
Brady, number 9.
Yeah.
What if he goes to 12 Super Bowls?
12 Super Bowls?
TB12? He would retire then.
Dude, he's not going to retire anytime soon. I'll give him 2 years minimum.
At least 2 more years?
Yeah. I don't know. Do you think he'd retire if he wins this one?
No, he does not.
Yeah, I don't think he does either. I think he's too stubborn.
I agree.
But I feel like the best scenario for him is like a Peyton Manning scenario where he wins the Super Bowl and then he quits,
That didn't happen with Manning?
Manning, yeah, his last game was he won the Super Bowl with the Broncos. And then he was like, I'm going to go home and drink a buttload of Budweiser, and did that cheap plug. And then he retired. Good times. Anyway, we got a lot to talk about as far as this week's games. Mm-hmm. And the main topic of this podcast is basically the shape of the NFL and what they need to do to fix all their kinks that we saw all season long, really. But it really shined this weekend, and just I think the way that they've changed the rules, they have manipulated the rules in favor of the offense all season long. That's been the trend.
Yeah, it's been the trend like that the last 10 years.
Yeah, and so here's the thing: when you blatantly miss a call like they did in the Rams and Saints game, it's a little contradicting, because you spend all this time negotiating the terms of what's roughing the passer, what's targeting, what's head to head, what is a catch, all these rules associated with the offense and against the defense, and it's kind of ridiculous to miss that kind of call, especially this season when all this new rules are coming in. Also, and I'll add this because I want to get to talking about the rules of overtime. Like I said,
we can get that afterwards.
Yeah, but like I said, you change all these rules to get in favor of the offense on the field, but then you don't give a chance for the other team to get on the field if they lost the coin toss for overtime. Because I knew when the Pats and the Chiefs went to overtime, whoever was winning that coin toss was winning the game. I knew whoever got the ball first in their hands was winning. I knew.
Well, that was up to the defense to stop them, and they couldn't.
They could have stopped them, but here's the thing.
We can get into that later.
Okay.
Wow, let's go to
go ahead.
Can I say something about the rules?
Absolutely.
I believe now, like as of this year, football has been the most like missed calls, like crazy calls, like the worst calls ever in NFL history are happening now. Like you go back years and years, they didn't have like these bad missed calls, these. Like, it's a newer thing. Like, these are the worst calls I've ever seen.
Yeah, I think that one was by far the worst I've ever seen.
Or
that was the worst by far.
It's like it's getting worse and worse. And it doesn't look good for the NFL.
Well, when you start making all these petty adjustments to
it's hard
and it's like there's always going to be some gray area.
That is true.
There's always going to be gray area, and it's just, I don't know. I just think you can't just say we're going to make all these rule changes in favor of the offense and then miss a call like that.
Yeah, I agree.
It just looks terrible.
3 people missed the call.
Yeah,
it's not that one person. Oh, I'm sorry, and it was so obvious.
No, it was bad.
Well, everybody knows.
And people are saying that it was from where the ref was standing and the trajectory of the ball. And it's like no.
That was a missed call.
Even if it wasn't a pass interference, and even if he touched the ball, head-to-head contact. Yep. Yeah, head-to-head contact. You can't do that. And you have to look, if you're going to make all these stupid rule changes and we've talked about this before, I think it's a little much. It's unfair to the defense. And even Ray Lewis came out and said, like, hey, let these guys play football. This is a violent sport. It is what it is. You can't really sugarcoat it as much as you're trying to do. Just go out and play football.
Yeah.
And you're robbing the defense. And I've agreed with that all season long.
I agree.
But if you're going to say all that, you got to be consistent with it. Especially in a big game. I mean, 10 years ago, that was an easy pass interference.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, targeting wasn't even a thing 10 years ago, and that was still a pass interference.
Yeah.
I mean, my goodness. So it is insane. If that was called, who's winning the ball game?
Saints.
Thank you. What percentage...
Definitely the Saints.
Yeah. I agree. What percentage of fault can we leave on just that call?
All right. Can we go off? That's not the reason the Saints lost the game. It's really not. We can.
I'm saying it's 60% of why they lost.
I think you and I can agree that both Sean Payton and Drew Brees are part of the reason why they lost that game.
Here's the thing. So, you're exactly right. I'm saying 60% was that call because that changes the game. I'm saying 20% is Sean Payton for bad play calling, for not being able to run the ball, for not being able to get his receivers open against the coverage. And I'm saying that Drew Brees is the other 20%.
I'm saying 40%. That call's only 40%. I'm saying 40. Sean Payton 20% and Drew Brees 40%. Okay, so...
I mean, Drew Brees didn't have his best game, but I don't think he had...
Yes, but you go out there and you say he's an elite quarterback, he's doing this, he's doing that. Tom Brady wouldn't have made that throw. He would have taken the sack, he would have thrown it out of bounds, he would have done... He wasn't going to Hail Mary, just throw it straight up in the air.
Yeah, it was a bad
horrible
lack
call.
Of judgment.
Yes.
Bad lack of judgment, but...
also execution.
Yeah.
Many bad throws.
Yeah. But maybe you also have to consider the play call. And I'm not paid enough to know what you're supposed to do in those type of situations, but it might have been the wrong play with the coverage that was being presented. I don't know.
Well, he had someone... We're talking about the interception, right?
Yeah, so in that case, it could have been... back to what you're saying, obviously, Peyton, I mean, he shouldn't have made that throw when he's getting hit like that, but...
or take the sack or something. Just don't throw it straight up in the air.
Yeah. You're spraying and praying at that point.
Yes.
And that's not
I don't
good.
think that had anything to do with play call. That should have been... And Thomas was open.
Yeah.
If the ball would have got to him, he would have gotten the first down.
Yeah, they locked Michael Thomas up all game.
They did.
They locked him up.
They did.
He had 200-something yards in the game that they played in the regular season. 240-something yards in that game, and they locked him up this game.
Yep.
Locked him up.
Sure did. Made him was not a factor.
Yeah. I was not expecting, and missed call aside, I wasn't expecting the Rams defense to play a huge factor in that game as much as they did.
Oh,
because they've been high-scoring offense all year long, and then they come out, and that's the reason they're in the Super Bowl this year.
Really, it's
the defense.
Both of their defenses, both New Orleans and the Rams defense stepped up.
And the same thing in the AFC.
No,
I mean, yeah, it was low scoring. Very, very good defense.
Patriots defense stepped up. Chiefs did not at all.
Yeah,
the Patriots did what they wanted.
Yeah, Patriots could do what they want.
Patriots defense, I will say, stepped up.
Yeah.
Because that was the most explosive offense in the NFL.
Yeah.
Chiefs, not even.
They held Tyreek Hill to 1 reception or something like that.
Yeah.
1 reception, Tyreek Hill.
He led the league in yards.
And you notice that Todd Gurley, we're going back and forth on these games.
Yeah, I know.
But Todd Gurley barely played.
He only had, Todd Gurley had 8 touches?
Well, he had 2, he had 8 or something touches and 2 drop passes.
There was something wrong with it. They had Anderson in there way more than him.
I mean,
and with a difference maker like Todd Gurley, I don't care if you have Walter Payton back there. Todd Gurley's in his prime right now.
But it speaks to Sean McVay in the sense that, look, I don't care if you're the best running back ever, whoever that is. We could have that discussion, but I don't care if you have that. If he's not having his game, he's going to hurt the team. And you got it's got to be next man up.
I think there's something wrong with it. Like he was hurt or something. There's a reason he wasn't playing.
I think he just dropped that one pass, and then he was getting hit in the backfield early, and it just got to his head a little bit.
Even from the start, he didn't play much.
I think it was just
first drive.
I think it just was a mental thing. I mean,
I don't know.
He was happy for the win after the game. In the press conference, he was happy.
Oh, of course.
I mean, obviously, but yeah, he'll be back. I don't think it's panic mode for him. Do you think that Sean Payton will get fired?
No.
No?
Why would he get fired?
Well, you've been to two postseason games, and you lose basically the majority of that game on one big play. Like last year, obviously the Minnesota Miracle, you can control a situation like that, but this year it hurts a little more, obviously, because you just can't control it, you know.
So everybody's saying that this is Sean Payton's fault. It's really not. Like the play call to pass the ball right there was a pass interference instead of just running the ball or whatever.
No, I never would have thought that you should run the ball there, because then it runs the clock out, and now you got 2 incompletions, and it stops the clock there. So it was smart football to pass it, in my opinion.
Well, or what I've heard some people were saying, like for him to decide to pass it instead of running it, or whatever the case was, like, or when was it? It was like 2nd or 3rd and 2 at one point, and they.
Yeah, but you got like a minute and a half left. You don't want to run the clock out, then you don't have enough time to score.
Oh, I understand. I would say you need to throw the ball there.
Exactly, no, and that's what he did. And
so I don't get why people are saying like, "Oh, we need to get rid of him." Like, well, it's his fault we lost.
Yeah, I mean,
like, yeah, I understand. Run the ball, like get the clock going. But if you throw the ball and you pick up that first down, that ends the game right there.
Yeah, no, I agree. It's just stuff that you can't control is the worst there. Jeez. That was week 9. Okay, so he had 211 yards in the regular season against the Rams. That's Michael Thomas did.
Yeah.
So I said like 2 something else. I don't know. Good for him though.
So are we going to go to the AFC game now?
Yeah. A lot of stupid calls in that game too.
I mean,
a lot of dumb calls.
It is what it is, though. At the end of it, you just need to play football.
No, but you can't. I mean, you can't just say that. I mean, these are huge games.
But,
you know.
I know, but it's not like it's all one-sided. Like the Patriots got away with some calls. The Chiefs got away with some calls. Like, yeah, they're huge calls, and